Good morning, everyone. I can get my coffee. I had a nice little visit from a neighbor this morning. It's pretty secluded here, so you don't see your neighbors all the time. But he came over to compliment my organization in the car. It's been nice. I've had a few people make some comments on that along the way. My first morning here, I stopped into the visitor center at Walatawa and Jemez recreation area. It's actually on the Jemez reservation, and I bought a book. This just goes through the history of this area of the land, from the Spanish arriving and then it becoming a territory and then a state, kind of following the fight for the land. While I was there, I also bought this neat little collection of short hikes in the area. So I've been looking through this and kind of circling the ones that I want to do. I actually did one yesterday because I went to visit Bandelier National Monument. I don't know why, but I only have like a couple of photos from both Bandelier and this other hike I went on, so I'm sharing those with you now. The other hike was Sankawi hike, and there were some ruins on top of a mesa. I didn't really see the ruins. I don't know why. I was just on the hike. It was a beautiful hike. So these photos are all I have to share with you on that. But today I'm going to do a couple of short hikes right around here. They're all like 2 miles, half a mile to 2 miles round trip. And one of them has a hot spring, so I'm hoping that it will be nice there. I also bought my Jemez Springs hat, which I will show you from my time at Bandelier yesterday. I'm at Bandelier National Monument. I'm about to go on the Pueblo Loop Trail. And look, everyone, I got my hat for here. Pueblo of Jemez. And then I'm hoping to be back in the early afternoon to Jemez Springs, where I'm going to go back to those hot springs, hopefully, and then kind of come back to the camp a little early so I can cook and even do some exercising. As I mentioned yesterday, I'm just not feeling that healthy right now, so I want to spend some time on that before I move on tomorrow, because I'll only be 2 nights at Black Mesa, and then 3 nights at the next place, and then 4 nights at my last place, so 11 days, including today. But gosh, only 10 more nights of camping. Where did the time go? I'll go back and rewatch these vlogs, and we'll figure that out. Okay, we'll see you on the trail. First stop of the day is at Las Conchas. It is a 2 mile out and back, less than 100 feet elevation change, and the author of the booklet that I bought says that it's the most beautiful short hike in the Jemez. So, what gear do I have with me today? Just a 2 mile out and back, and I don't think it's gonna be in full sun, so just got my Pueblo of Jemez visor. I've got my camera, water bottle, and new today, which I don't think I've shared with you before, is a hip pack that I just use for camera stuff usually. So I've got my other lens. This really is such a beautiful trail. I'm going really slowly because there's still a lot of snow. It's actually ice on the trail. I should have brought my shoe chains, but I didn't think I would need them. So I'm just being extra careful. In fact, I think I'm going to turn around here because I think you need to cross the river here. And I'm not prepared to do that. This area really is something. Definitely gonna come back another time. It's gorgeous. Well, I've got probably only a quarter mile in, but the pamphlet did say that even if you only get that far, it's still gorgeous, and it was right. Next stop, San Diego Overlook. A 0.4 mile loop. So I think that's going to be a quick one. Nice little paved trail through the woods. Moving on to a dirt path. Still very long. That photo of the bench looking out is the overlook. I nearly missed it. And didn't realize that was it until the path started turning and I saw my car. So a very short loop in a very nice wooded area. Next stop, Dark Canyon Trail along the river. Here we go. Dark Canyon is a 1 mile out and back, less than 100 feet elevation change. Look at this beautiful red soil going down to the river. This is really nice down by the river. The trail is not well marked. You have to traverse some things like this, which approaching it from the top was a little more difficult than this perspective makes it look. I'm perched up on a rock. You see the waterfalls there. The river is definitely roaring. This is a gorgeous hike. It's a hard one. You need to do a little bit of climbing, and there's some steep, slippery parts. You need to be sure-footed. So I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit and enjoy it, and then head back and on to the next one. Just had a little Sammy, and now I am going to get on this trail to the hot springs, Spence Hot Springs. Looks like a good trail down to the river, and then maybe a steep climb up on the other side, but I've got my suit in my bag, taking this bag this time. Got my water shoes, and we'll see if I get there. It is pretty steep on this side, but the trail's well maintained. All right, I made it to the springs. I'm in the lower of the two pools, and it's nice cool water. It's not super warm, and it's really lovely. There's kind of a clearing with trees and big rock just above the hot springs. So there's plenty of places to change and store your stuff or just hang out. All in all, it was a very easy hike. Well, it was steep on the way up, but I can see why it's busy because it's really not bad to get to. I hiked with Lena and Will and Ben one time 6.5 miles into the Gila National Forest to get to a hot spring to hang out there for an hour and then hike back out on that same day. So what will I do to get into warm water? Although this water was not that warm, it was probably lukewarm at best. So I just stayed in there about 10-15 minutes and then popped out. Now heading back and on to the next place. I'm at Battleship Rock. This is really impressive and cool. I'm sitting on a bench right below it. Just going past Battleship Rock. What a lovely walk along this river. It's pretty easy. You can bring the family or the pups. Just a really pleasant stroll. But I've got one more little stop I want to make before heading back into town and getting there kind of early afternoon like I planned. So I'm off to the soda dam. And let's see what that's all about. How interesting. This rock is really cool looking. It's like ugly but cool. Oh, here's that fast moving water. Looks like the historical marker is down there. I'll go check it out. So I get some shots of the waterfall. So you can climb up on top too. I'm gonna go up and see what I can see from on top of the soda dam. It's a little windy up here. There's that calcium dome. Really nice. And back I go. Last stop. That was a nice little hike. A super fun morning, just doing a little spot hopping, hike hopping, river hopping, hopping all over the place. So I just finished at Soda Dam, which is super close to Jemez Springs. And I'm gonna stop in and see if I can find some of those warm hot springs with a smoothie. All right, tomorrow I leave for Oklahoma, my last state of the trip. 9 nights in Oklahoma. I'm excited. It's been wonderful here, and people in El Paso come up for a long weekend, take a vacation here. I would have been doing it had I known about this place. It's lovely.